Hi guys, and welcome to the first ever Two Girls, Two Greys video. I'm Julia and I'm one of the co-owners of this account along with Millie, who will be making a video shortly about her and her pony, so you'll be able to get to know us more. This video has been long overdue. We've been planning to make this channel for a while now, but we just haven't had the time to do it, what with me being in sixth form and Millie getting ready for her GCSEs in a couple of years' time. But the channel is finally here, so for equestrian videos, just subscribe below and we'll post a bit more regularly as time goes on. February half term is coming up in a few weeks, 2 weeks from today, so we'll be able to film quite a few new videos then and then just stagger the posting a bit so we don't run out of content too quickly. So just to start off, I'm going to introduce myself and I'm going to introduce my horse. I'll try and include some pictures up in the corners so you guys know what I'm talking about, which would be nice. So my name's Julia, as you already know. I'm 16 and I'm in year 12, or the lower 6th as you might know it. I don't know what the American grade equivalent is. If I knew, I would tell you. I live in the UK with my mum and my dad, and I recently bought a horse in October of last year. The reason being is that my favourite horse that I'd loaned since the summer had gone on sale and I was given the first sort of option of buying him, which was really nice. But I think I'll go back to where our story really started and then continue from there. In August of 2016, about 7 new horses came to the riding school that I was at, and only 4 of them stayed: Tom, Harry, Shiny and Furco. The other 3 or 4, I think, they were not deemed as riding school material, so they were sent back to where they came from. And I think at the time that was the best decision for those horses because they weren't cut out for the life. At first, the horses were ridden by members of staff, so us helpers didn't really see them very often, until eventually the horses were passed down to the helpers to ride before the clients would get on them. And I started off riding all 4 horses. The first horse I rode was Harry. He was a massive bay, around 17 two-hands high, and a really cobby type thing, and sort of like riding a truck. So he wouldn't move in bits, he'd just move as one massive horse. And I didn't really enjoy it all that much. The next one that I rode was Furco, massive black hairy beast who is now loaned by one of my good friends. And I liked him and he was responsive, but he was very attached to Shiny, the other black one that came with him. So it was hard to ride him when Shiny was in the same arena because they had like massive separation anxiety from each other, which wasn't really good because he'd just tank off down the other end of the arena. And he was ridden in a snaffle when he first came, and now he's in a massive driving bit, so you can kind of see the difference there. Shiny was a really responsive horse, big black hairy one again. And I really did enjoy riding him, and he was ridden by a friend of mine for quite a long time before she had an operation, and she really made him a great horse. And then finally there was Tom. I didn't really get the opportunity to ride Tom until something like November of last year. The 21st to be precise. I was supposed to be riding one of the black ones in my lesson, but I didn't feel like putting up with a fight per se, because trying to get them to stop and go was sometimes a struggle when they didn't want to do the work. And the only other horse on the riding school that was available for me to ride was Tom. From the start, Tom had been everyone's favourite. He was always the cutest one out of the 4 and really enjoyed kind of cuddles and being petted, even though he was quite spooky. The first time I rode him, I found him kind of hard to ride. His trot was really hard to sit to, and he just wasn't very cooperative at times and wanted to join the back of the ride and just gallop off and had no brakes, which was fine by me because I enjoy a horse that's a challenge. But when I got off him, my instructor came up to me and he said that I should take Tom on as a project because I rode him so well. And so the next few lessons I had, I'd be riding Tom and I'd be trialling him, and then it would all go from there. For me, I thought this was a great opportunity because it's not often that you're able to ride a horse almost exclusively on a riding school, because obviously they will have to work to earn their keep. But I ended up taking on Tom as a project and taught him how to start jumping, did the jumping foundations, along with pole work because he was scared of poles, and lots of flat work, and really started making progress with him. At this point, he was in a waterford snaffle, and he was quite strong still at that point, but I was managing it and it was all going pretty well. From January to February of last year, I rode Tom almost exclusively, so it was just me riding him, and I did lots and lots of work with him and it was all going really well. But in February, the riding school actually sent him back to where he came from because he wasn't earning his keep at all, and if it was just me riding him, he wasn't being worked enough. So they decided that since I only came up once a week, he wasn't necessary to be on the site anymore. They kept Shiny and Furco and sent back Tom and Harry. By that stage, I'd fallen in love with Tom quite a lot, so I campaigned and asked my parents and the yard owner if I could full loan him over the summer. This meant that I would be completely responsible for him and keep him on DIY livery at the yard. The yard owner finally agreed, and so did my parents, so when my GCSEs finished in late June of last year, I got him back on full loan. It was an awesome experience, and I can't thank the people who made it happen enough, because it finally gave me the opportunity to feel like I owned, a horse. And I was fully responsible for him, which meant caring for his daily needs, turnout, food, stable, etc. The list goes on. More importantly, I think, I got to ride him and got to ride one horse and see how it all improved. So from the start of the year, he wasn't going in an outline, he was really strong and wasn't really responsive. But then by the end of the summer, he was going so well. I was also able to do Pony Club Camp on him, which was my first year as a sort of livery, I suppose. And it was really fun. I was in a group with all my friends, and Tom knew all the horses pretty well from his time on the school. So we had lots and lots of fun and did loads and loads of cool things and jumped grids, Tom's first time in a grid, did a dressage competition, and we won Most Improved Horse and Rider Pair. However, at the end of the summer, because I was starting my A-levels, so the 2 years of A-levels, my parents said that I had to stop loaning because I wouldn't have the time to go up the yard every single day to look after him. I was considering grass livery, so just paying someone to keep him in a field, and also loan with you to buy, because the yard owner was talking about putting him up for sale. However, the yard owner wanted him gone because he was taking up space and not really paying for himself, and she wanted him to find someone to settle down with because he was really a one-person horse. And I was told that he wasn't able to go back onto the riding school because he had problems with his eyes, which meant that he would be a bit dangerous to ride. One of the instructors told me that she was about to put up Tom's advert in the office and online, but she wanted me to know first, just in case I wanted to buy him. So I spoke to my parents and I showed them the advert, and I just explained that it would be really lovely for me to be able to offer Tom a home because I knew him better than most. So I showed my parents the advert and I spoke to them. And I explained that with us he would have the best possible shot at, completing his life and his retirement, because he's not going anywhere ever. So they decided that they would take me to look at some yards in the local area that might be cheaper where I was riding in the riding school, and maybe a bit better for myself and Tom. But unfortunately, we went to see a few and none of them were really right for us. So after a long talk, my parents decided that we would keep Tom at Littlebourne and that he would be mine. On the 14th of October 2017, Tom became legally mine, and from that moment on, we've just gone from strength to strength. Obviously, owning your own horse isn't easy, and it's a journey that is really hard at times, but it's obviously been one of the best things that I've ever done, and I would really recommend it to someone who is looking into owning a horse to go for it if they can. If they obviously have the right amount of experience, because it can be an amazing opportunity. Since I bought Tom, his confidence has really improved. We've gone from him being really terrified of hoses to him standing calmly while I hose his muddy feet when he comes up from the field. We've gone from jumping pretty much tiny cross-pops to jumping 85 centimetre vertical. And we've gone from literally being terrified of puddles and schooling to going really well in a muddy arena. So you guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed mine and Tom's story. Millie's version of this with her and her horse Ilona should be up sooner rather than later. And I really hope that you're inspired by them and that you subscribe to watch some more videos and give us a thumbs up. Bye!